يا قلبي ثق بالله فهو المعطي المانع وارضى بقضاء الله إنك لله راجع. يا قلبي ثق بالله فهو المعطي المانع وارضى بقضاء الله إنك لله راجع. ماذا في علم ماذا في علم الله والخيرة في الواقع. تدبيرك ما يسواش من تدبيري دعني وأنا مالي فيهاش آش علي مني وأنا مالي فيهاش وأنا مالي فيهاش آش علي مني آش علي وأنا عبد مملوك والحاجة مقضية ما في التحقيق اشتوك. ربي فانظر لي وأنا نظري متروك بالأرحم وبالحاش من نطفة صورني من نطفة وحناني بالإنعام نعمة من كل صفة وشراب نتردم. أوصيك بتقوى الله بالسر والإعلان وتيقن أن الله حاضر في كل مكان. إذا نفعك الله لا شيء ضرك إنسان. صفيها من الأغشاش إن كنت تطاوعني وأنا مالي فيهاش وأنا مالي فيهاش شعلي مني وأنا مالي فيهاش شعلي مني. الله يا عظيم أنت العظيم قاد همنا أمر عظيم. الله يا عظيم أنت العظيم أمر عظيم وكل أمر همنا يا مجيب. يا ربنا بالفتحات وبالرجال رجال الصالحات. يا ربنا يا قلبي ثق بالله فهو المعطي المانع وارضى بقضاء الله إنك لله راجع يا قلبي ثق بالله فهو المعطي المانع.
Can we move this board back a bit? Thing is, just lower it. You've tightened it so much that you can't open it. That side, that side. There you go. We've slanted it, but it'll be fine. Right, shall we start? بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الأمين الكريم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا ومولانا محمد وبارك وسلم وصل عليه الصلاة والسلام عليك يا سيدي يا رسول الله وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا سيدي يا حبيب الله. We're going to be starting the translation and the breakdown of Surah Fatiha and also the tafsir of Surah Fatiha. I don't think we'll get through all of it today, but we will at least try to do the first sentence, which are the first three verses of Surah Fatiha, inshaAllah ta'ala. Last week we spoke on Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim and we concluded on that, and today inshaAllah ta'ala we'll be doing Surah Fatiha. Before we start, I gave you a breakdown of Jumla Ismiya and Jumla Fi'liya. If you remember that there was a beneficial sentence and a non-beneficial sentence, Mufid and Ghair Mufid. Now, in Murakkabe Ghair Mufid, I told you that one of its types was Murakkabe Idafi. Murakkabe Idafi. Now, Murakkabe Idafi Murakkab Idafi. If I give an example, it'll be a lot easier to explain. So we have in this an example of Ghulamu Zaydin. Which simply means the boy of Zayd. The boy of Zayd. Now, the first part is always called Mudaf. If you like, the word annexed. Yes? And the second part is called Mudaf Ilay. Yes? What is annexed towards, what is associated to. These are two parts of Murakkabe Idafi, and always recognize them. So remember, in Nahw we always deal with the last letter of the word and its haraka. So there's two words in this, Ghulam and Zayd. As for the first part, Ghulam, this will take the i'rab of anything before it, meaning the i'rab of what is amil is giving. So we have two things. We have an amil and a ma'mul. Amil and, you just understand this on a general manner. Amil and ma'mul. Amil is the one that gives the haraka. It might give a dhamma, it might give a fatha, it might give a kasra. And ma'mul is the one that accepts it. Yes? So in that regard. So remember, that's always going to be the case. This is what we talk about in Nahw. Amil and ma'mul. What the amil gives and how the ma'mul accepts it. What the amil gives and how the ma'mul accepts it. So in terms of mudaf and mudaf ilayh, if we read it as Ghulamu Zaydin, yes, the dhamma will come from whatever is before Ghulamu. It's not a sentence, is it here? So it could be in any sentence like ja'a, ja'ani. Yes? Ja'a is fail and ja'a needs a fa'il. Every file is marfu. Every file is marfu. Every file is marfu. So ja'ani. So every file is marfu. So ja'a will give a rafa, a dhamma pesh, to its fa'il. So therefore, in this case, Ghulamu will accept the dhamma. Will accept the dhamma. But remember one thing, the mudaf will accept any haraka which his amil is giving it. The mudaf will accept the haraka in regards to whatever its amil. The amil here is ja'a at the moment, isn't it? But it could be something else like ra'aytu, I saw. Now ra'aytu already has this file which is the tu zamir, yes, which means I saw. And so therefore it's found its fa'il. Its fa'il is with it, so it's given a rafa now, isn't it? The only the thing it has is maf'ul bihi. It has maf'ul bihi. So therefore maf'ul bihi is mansub. Maf'ul bihi is mansub. Therefore if we said ra'aytu, now ghulam Zaid will have to be read as ghulama. Ghulama. Yes? Or if you say marartu, I passed. Bi, harf jar, bi ghulami Zaidin. Bi ghulami Zaidin. So only thing I'm explaining here is that the mudaf, the i'rab of mudaf at the end of it will be considered by what's ever before it. Yes? It could be a fatha, dhamma or kasra. As for the second part, the mudaf ilay. The mudaf ilay. This is always majroor. This is always majroor. Remember that fact. The main sign for you will be that if the second part of the word, he in Zaidin, if it's majroor, then realize the first part is mudaf. Yes? The first part is mudaf. So remember this. And another thing also to understand regarding mudaf and mudaf ilay is that the mudaf will never be ma'rifah. Yes? What I mean, we'll discuss the issue of ma'rifah and nakira later on. But in this case, an easy way to understand it is that it'll never have an alif lam on it, i.e. it won't be al-ghulamu. Yes? So you won't have an alif lam in the beginning, and nor will it have a tanween. Nor will it have a... So you can't say ghulamun zaydin, ghulaman zaydin, ghulamin zaydin. Can't say that. Yes? So it's going to be empty of those two things. Empty of having alif lam in the beginning and empty of tanween at the end of the mudaf. End of the mudaf. So do you understand that up to there? Yes? So this is the concept of murakkab idafi. Mudaf and mudaf ilay. Understand that? There you go. Then we had murakkab tawsifi. Yes? Murakkab tawsifi is kind of simple. Basically, there are two parts to it. Yes? So if I give you an example, which we did in Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Yes? Allah, He, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. So in there, we had the word Allah. Yes? And I just put one attribute, Rahman. Yes? Now in this, you have two parts. You have two parts in Murakkab Tawsifi. The first part is called Mawsuf. Second part is called Sifa. What is it called? Sifa. Mawsuf and if you just want to say the Pakistani way, Sifat. Okay? Mawsuf and Sifat. Now, before we move on into this, I want to explain to you the concept of ma'rifah and nakira. Ma'rifah and nakira. The definition is simple. Ma'rifah is specific. Yes? Nakira is common. If you choose to translate in this manner. Okay? Specific and common or unspecific.
Why didn't you use khas and am?
No. Slightly different concept. Okay? Slightly different concept in this. Because khas and am, remember this is a termed, yes? So in Arabic we use khas and am for something else. Okay? That's the reason.
I know it's used for usul.
Yes.
But why would you not use it here as well? Like, why could it not be used?
Because
we do
because
use
a ma'rifah doesn't have to be khas, it can be am.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Yeah?
Yeah.
The man came to me.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's ma'rifah, but it's not exactly specific as well, is it? It's the man. In your mind, it could be any man.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
So in that sense, it's am as well.
Yeah.
Yes?
I get it.
Insana allama al-insana ma lam ya'lam. Now, allama al-insana. Al-insan is ma'rifah. But is it khas or am? It's am, isn't it? Because it includes all of humans. So do you understand the difference between them? Yeah? But this is termed. So remember, terminology is specific to each science. Okay? So there are types of ma'rifah, but we're going to do them some other time. Okay? And that makes life easy, that there'll only be a few of them. And once you've done the 7 ranks of ma'rifah, then everything else is nakira, then isn't it? Yes? So we'll do that. But this is what you need to understand. Yes? But the basic concept to understand here is, if a word has alif lam on it, yes? Just to make life easy for what we're doing. If it has alif lam on it, it becomes ma'rifah. It becomes ma'rifah. If it's without alif lam, it becomes nakira. Becomes nakira. With the exceptions of names. Because names might not have alif lam. Like Zaydun. Yes? It's not as Zaydu, is it? It's Zaydun. But it's still ma'rifah because it's a name. Names are ma'rifah, aren't they? They're specific. Yes? So, do you understand that concept? The reason I mentioned that is because there's a couple of things which you have to look at here between mawsoof and sifa. If the mawsoof is ma'rifah, the sifat will be ma'rifah. If the mawsoof is nakira, the sifat will be nakira. If the mawsoof is singular, dual or plural, you know the siga? Singular, dual or plural, then the sifa will have to be singular, dual or plural, one of them. And if the mawsoof is masculine or feminine, either one of them, then the sifat will have to be masculine or feminine. So there are the 3 categories which the sifat has to follow the mawsoof in. So let's look at Allah, the name of Allah. Obviously we're going to keep it empty of being masculine or feminine. But just for the sake of example, it's masculine. It doesn't have the signs of feminine in it. So therefore, Ar-Rahman will have to be masculine. The siga has to be masculine. Is it ma'rifah? We talked about the word Allah, isn't it? We said it's got al in it. Yes? So therefore, Ar-Rahman is a ma'rifah. Yes? Is the word Allah singular? Yes? So Ar-Rahman, singular, isn't it? Yes? So therefore, see how it's attached. And the other thing, what mawsoof and sifat do is that the sifat will always take on the same harakah as its mawsoof. So whatever harakat the name Allah has here, yes? For example, in Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, it was a he, wasn't it? So what will the noon at the end of Rahman have? A ni. In Nahav, we only speak on the last letters of each word. Yes? Sarf sorted out the first few letters, and Nahav will only look at the last letter. But if I said something like, I don't know, Nahmadullah, yes? Now, Nahmadu is siga, Nahmadu, siga, Jama Mutakallim, which means we praise. We praise. So, have you already found the fa'il? Yeah, it's we, isn't it? Thus the nahnu zamir hidden inside nahmadu. So nahnu is hidden inside it, which means we. Now we found fail and file. File is always marfu, but it's hidden inside, isn't it? So it's already, supposedly it's already given the rafa, the pesh, to the nahnu, which is hidden inside it. Now anything that will come after will be most likely maful bihi. Maful bihi is always, file is always with the dhamma, pesh. And maful bihi is always with the nasab, zabar. Yes? So now we will read this as Nahmadullah. We praise Allah. Now the word Allah is mansoob now, isn't it? Yes, it is mansoob. And it's mawsoof. What will Ar-Rahman have on it now? Anna. This time. Does that make sense? Nahmadullah Har-Rahmana. That's how it's read now. Do you understand that point? Yes? So what is it following in? So these are few things that it needs to follow in. The mawsoof and sifa the sifa will follow the mawsoof in one, in the i'rab. I'rab, meaning whatever i'rab the mawsoof has, the same i'rab will go to the sifa. Number two, in ma'rifah and nakira. Yes? Meaning if the mawsoof is ma'rifah, sifa will be ma'rifah. Same thing for nakira. Then in the gender. Yes? Which is if mawsoof is ma'rifah, then the sifa will be masculine, feminine. Okay? And the last one is we'll just call that siga. Yes? Wahid muzakkar, Wahid, tasniya or jama. What do you call it? Number?
I call number singular.
Eh? Plurality?
Just for S, D and P, singular, dual and plural.
That's good idea. So it could be singular, dual or plural. SDP. Sounds like some Muslim organization.
EI.
EI. Sunni Dawat Islami Police. SDP. Sounds like either a Muslim organization or British political party. SDP, BNP and anyway, do you understand those concepts so far? Right, so keep an eye on here that first of all we had Jumla Ismiya and it had two parts, Mubtada and Khabar. Then we had Jumla Fi'liya which has two parts, Fail and Fa'il. Maf'ul bihi and things like this are extra, yes? But this is the main component. This is what you always have to look for first before you move on elsewhere. But keeping in mind now what you just read today, yes? These can be in Jumla Ismiya and they can be in Jumla Fi'liya. Yes? So in Jumla Ismiya, Murakkab Izafi, Murakkab Tawsifi can be a Mubtada and it can be Khabar. Yes? In Jumla Fi'liya, it can't be Fail obviously, so it can only be either Fa'il or Maf'ul Bihi. Yes? So they become part of the sentences in that case. Okay? So now let's look at Surah Fatiha. In terms of its breakdown, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahmanir Rahim, Maliki Yawmid Deen. Before we go into translation, have a look at this, the Alhamdu. Al-Hamdu. Should keep a Quran in front of you so that you can follow it. There should be Qurans lying about somewhere. There's loads there, I think. Just so you can keep the words of the Quran in front of you. So first of all, the word Alhamdu. Alhamdu. Is it ism, fail or harf? Is it ism, isn't it? The al is telling you, shouting out from the top of his lungs that I am an ism. Yes? So alhamdu is an ism. Alhamdu. So it's an ism. Yes? So from here we'll understand one thing at the least, isn't it? What jumla are we dealing with now? Jumla ismiya. So at least we can take that concept that we're dealing with jumla ismiya. Now if you look, it doesn't have a tanween. Why doesn't it have a tanween? It's al, isn't it? Yes? The al will make it ma'rifah now. The al will make it ma'rifah. Will make it ma'rifah. So we'll just conclude with this, that this is mubtada. That's it. We found our mubtada. Yes? Lillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahmanir Rahim Maliki Yawmid Deen. Then we have Lillahi. Lillahi. I'll break it down for you. We have a li and then the word Allah. Yes? Li is a harf jar. What is it? Harf jar. We'll go through them at some point again. We did them last year, but we'll go through them again at some point. Harf jar always gave a jar to the word after them. Hence, why you reading he? It's the lam that gave the ha a kasra. Lillahi. And every harf jar has a majroor. That's what it gave a jar to. So the word Allah becomes majroor in this case. But we're not going to close it off yet, sorry. I just told you that for the sake of telling you so you know what jar and majroor is. So we'll do that at the end again. Okay? But before it becomes majroor, you will realize that it is mawsoof. What is it? Mawsoof. Yes? And I am going to go through the breakdown, but just for the sake of knowing what the sifas are, understand it this way. The Ar-Rahman is his first sifa, Ar-Rahim is his second sifa, Maliki Yawmiddin is his third sifa. You can have as many attributes as you like. Yes? You can have as many attributes as you like for a mawsoof. Yes? There can be many sifas. So here, did I miss one out? Rabbil Alameen, sorry. I missed Rabbil Alameen. Yeah, sorry, I missed it. I looked at the next line. This is why they say you should have it in front of you. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. So you got Rabbil Alameen, number 1, Ar-Rahman, number 2, Ar-Rahim, number 3, and Maliki Yawmiddin, number 4. So 4 attributes all together. Yes? 4 attributes all together. Yes? So 4 attributes. They together will become the sifas of the word Allah. I'm going to break them down, but we'll just complete the sentence before we break those down. So you know exactly what it is. So, lafz Allah with all 4 of its sifas. Lafz Allah with 4 of its sifas. Rabbil Alameen number 1, Ar-Rahman number 2, Ar-Rahim number 3, Maliki Yawmiddin number 4. With all of these 4, so Mawsoof plus the 4 sifat, so 4 sifas, call them sifat, okay? It equals, upside down equal, okay? And it turns over to be majroor. What does it become? Majroor of that jar. Majroor of that jar. But one thing I've always told you is that jar, harf jar never come on their own. And there's nothing left in the sentence, is there? There's nothing left in the sentence, okay? This is a point of debate. It's either linked to a hidden word for definite, yeah? But that hidden word could be sabitun, it could be mukhtassun, yes? We'll keep sabitun, it's kind of easier, yes? Proven, all praise is proven, yes? So, it become the muta'alliq, yes? What will it become the muta'alliq of? Sabitun, okay? So a bit weird, but so it becomes the link of sabitun. So this harf jar becomes a muta'alliq of sabitun. Yes? What is sabitun?
The hidden word. Or,
In Siga.
fa'ilun.
Yeah, so it's Siga Wahid Muzakkar Isme Fa'il. Isme Fa'il. Okay? Ilhawa huwa zamir hidden inside it. Huwa zamir hidden inside it. That huwa zamir refers to the hamd. That if you translate it literally means the praise is proven, it's the praise. If that makes sense. So that huwa, the praise is proven, it's the praise. Just to re-emphasize it, that we're talking about the praise is being proven for Allah. We wouldn't translate like that, but just to literal translation. The praise proven is that praise for Allah. Yes? So that's a pronoun hidden inside sabitun, which refers back to ham. That's one other thing you have to notice as well. There will always be a pronoun somewhere, either hidden or in literal words, in the khabar, which goes back to the mubtada. Okay, that is his link. That's always the link. So therefore now, let's count them all together. We'll have sabitun with its fa'il, with its harf jar, muta'alliq, it becomes the khabar. Altogether it becomes what? Khabar. That's what we're looking for. Khabar of mubtada. What sentence will it be? Jumla ismiya khabariya lafzan insha'iyya ma'nan. Yes, explain that last time. It's Quran, isn't it, that we're dealing with. So do you understand that? Easy? Shall we break down those attributes now? I did this just to make it easier.
What was the definition of sabit again?
Sabitun is proven.
Proven.
Do you want the definition or the translation?
Translation. And
Muta'al associate. Right, let's break down those attributes now. Those 4 attributes. How do they work out? So we had lillahi. So you got lillahi. Yes? The word Allah becomes mawsuf. Yes? Mawsuf. The word Allah becomes mawsuf. So the first attribute you got is Rabbil. Alright, Rabbil Alameen. Okay. This Rabbil Alameen is mudaf and mudaf ilayh. What is it? Mudaf and mudaf ilayh. Yes? Mudaf and mudaf ilayh. So, the Rabb is mudaf, and al-alameen, which is plural, by the way. It is plural. Yes? It's Jama Muzakkar plural. Jama Muzakkar plural. And we're going to do those. The 16 types of Ism Mutamakkin, we will cover them inshaAllah ta'ala. They're the core of your nav basically. So we'll have to cover them. Otherwise you won't know what the hell's going on. Okay? But we will cover them. The whole point of doing it this way is that you do a bit of your grammar, taste it, isn't it? Yes? So you taste it and also see how it's implemented, as well as you see live examples from the Quran as well. But I'm not going to pick up on it today. Al-Alameen is plural, but it's in a state of jar. Why? Because muzaf ilayh is always majroor. Remember these rules. You know, when I say these things, write them in gold somewhere. Okay? So there should be like a checklist that you have. Fa'il is always marfu, maf'ul bihi is mansoob, and muzaf ilayh is always majroor. Yes? So you don't all get confused then. Yes? They should be written separately somewhere. So you've got the mudaf, Rabb, and al-alameen is mudaf ilayh. And mudaf ilayh is always majroor. Yes. Now what will happen is the mudaf ilay will be the mudaf ilay of Rabb mudaf. Yes. But Rabb is mudaf and mudaf ilay became the sifa of lafz Allah. Lafz Allah had what i'rab on it? He. Yes. So then what are we going to read on the ba? Rabbi. Rabbi. Yes. So because it's mawsoof, the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also gave it a kasra. Al-Alameen is in a jarri state, not because of it being mawsoof, because it is mudaf ilay. That becomes the first attribute, attribute number 1. Okay. Now next attribute, Ar-Rahman. We've already done this before, but we'll do it again. Ar-Rahman, some say is siga mubalgha. Yes. In Arabic, I tend to say it is sifate mushabbaha in its meaning. Yes. Just so that it has the meaning of constant. Yes. The Ar-Rahman is constant. Mubalgha is like exaggeration. So it might be the scale of a mubalgha, but its meaning could be of sifa, mushabba, but this is a technical point. Within it is a huwa zamir. Remember one thing, you need a connection between the mawsoof and the sifa as well. Yes, especially when the sifa is from the asma'i mushtaqat. Yes, the derived nouns. What do you call them? Adjectives. Yes, the adjectives, ism fa'il, ism maf'ul, sifa mushabba and all them. This is one of them, isn't it? Ism mubalagha. So the 7 of them. So with this one, it'll have a huwa, zamir, hidden inside it, which refers to Allah. Which refers to Allah. So therefore, together, it will become the second sifa. But what's on it? What does the noon have? Kasra. Yes. So therefore, that's sifa number 2. Ar-Rahim, same thing again. But this time, it's just a sifa mushabba this time, isn't it? Yes. It has a huwa zamir inside it. Again, it refers to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is his connection. Yes. So therefore, this is sifa number 3. Then you've got what? Maliki yawmid deen. Keep an eye on this now. This is what I want to show you. Maliki yawmid deen. Yes. Now, Maliki. This is the first mudaf. This is the first mudaf. But when we looked further, we found that the next word is also mudaf. Yes? So we looked at it and we found it's mudaf, so we said mudaf here again. Yes? Then we looked at deen is ma'rifah. Ad-deen is, look, this became mudaf. Why? Because it's not ma'rifah. So we said it's mudaf again. It's nakira, there isn't it? So it became mudaf towards the nakira ad-deen. So therefore ad-deen now became, once the word becomes ma'rifah, you can never make it mudaf again. So remember that if there was anything else after it, you can never make ad-deen mudaf towards it, because it's ma'rifah. Ma'rifah blocks it from becoming mudaf again. Yes? The yawm became mudaf again. Why? Because it was nakira. If it was malikil yawm, malikil yawm, there's no way we could say that al yawm is mudaf again. That's it, it says mudaf ilayh finished. But it's not like that, is it? It's maliki yawm. Yes? Yawm. Okay. Now here, yawm, yawmi. Ad-deen became mudaf ilayh. What is it? Mudaf ilayh. But let's get this right. Let's get this right. There's this the hadith in Sahih Muslim that says regarding the person who associates himself to other than his father. Yes? You know, the Prophet said that the one who intentionally associates himself to someone who he knows that is not his father, yes, the Prophet akin it to kufr, said is disbelief. Yes? There's a few other things the Prophet mentioned inside that narration as well. And Sahih Muslim has various few narrations like that. Yes? Meaning you always associate things to the right person or places. Yes? So we don't want to get the father wrong, do we? Yes? So a lot of people just tell you is that ad-deen is just mudaf ilayh and finish it. No. Ad-deen is the mudaf ilayh of yawm. What is it? Mudaf ilay of yawm. Yawm mudaf plus the mudaf ilay equals, upside down equal, to become a mudaf ilay again together, both of them, of this mudaf here. Yeah, let's get the fathers right. Okay? Don't associate two things. Okay? There was this new book about Arabic grammar released recently as well, and the person posted a few pages of it, and there were so many mistakes in it. Yes, and I decided to tell them, but they didn't want to tell. Yes. Oh. There you go.
Just check that one as well, just in case.
I tightened that one. So, this mudaf ilay, ad-din is the mudaf ilay of yawm, and then mudaf and mudaf ilay together, yawm and ad-din together become the mudaf ilay of maliki. Yes? So, we got the fathers right, huh, mommy? Yes? We associated them to the right places. It's vital that we do that. Okay? So, in this case now, mudaf and mudaf ilay altogether is the fourth sifa. Fourth sifa. And the i'rab Malik will have is what? What with the kaf of? Kasra. Okay? Maliki. That gets a kasra because of the word Allah. The rest of them getting it because they're mudaf ilay. They are mudaf ilay. That makes sense? Yes? There you go. And then all of these four, look back towards the Quran. So, Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, all of these four become the sifa of the word Allah. Become the sifa of the word Allah. And I did it on the board previously, that the word Allah with all of its sifas is the majroor of the harf jar, li. And then the harf jar, li, just to make life easy, is linked to the word sabitun, which is hidden. Yes? Sabitun ismi fa'il, it has a huwa zamir hidden inside it. That became its fa'il, and lam, which is what we call the muta'alliq. The muta'alliq is joined to the sabitun. Sabitun ismi fa'il, ba fa'il with his muta'alliq became the khabar of the mubtada, alhamdu. Alhamdu mubtada with his khabar. What jumla was it? Jumla ismiya khabriya. Jumla ismiya khabriya. There you go. That's the breakdown of the sentence. Translation, literal translation would be that all praise is proven for Allah, Lord of the universe, the most beneficial, the most merciful, master of the day of, sometimes it's translated as judgment. The reason is ad-din. Ad-din is used for both reward and punishment. Yes? Yeah. The day of deen. Yeah, so deen can also mean way, but here it means judgment. Yes, the day of judgment. So that is the translation and breakdown of this. So you can always translate literally that all praise is proven for Allah, Lord of the universe, most beneficial is He, most merciful is He, master of the day of judgment. Yeah, making sure you get all of the pronouns out as well, so you know that they're there. Okay? A lot of people don't do them, and when you ask them to do the tarkib and make the link of how it's linked back, they don't have the links. Okay? But it's good to know that. So that was the literal translation in regards to this part of Surah Fatiha. Have a look in regards to some things regarding Surah Fatiha, that is named Fatihatul Kitab, isn't it? This is what the surah is called. And why? Because it's the beginning of the Quran. It's the root of the Quran. Yes. And this is one of the reasons why it's also called Asas, the foundation. Always called Fatihatul Kitab because it consists of everything which the Quran has in it. Everything which the Quran has in it. In terms of sana, praise of Allah, worshipping by way of His commands and His prohibitions, promises, yes, and warnings, if you like. Yes, wa'id, warnings. It even consists of them. It indicates them. Or it's called Fatihatul Kitab, which is like a forward then, isn't it? Yes, a forward. Why is it called Fatihatul Kitab? Why? Because of all the meanings that the Quran carries. Yes? You can split them into two. Wisdom and ahkam. Yes, laws and then in-depth wisdom.
What's that Arabic?
من الحكم النظرية والأحكام العملية. So here, which ultimately is the straight path then, isn't it? Yes? And the ranks of the successful people and the states of the wretched people. So I'm going to come to that, inshallah. Is also named Suratul Kanz. Suratul Kanz, the surah of treasure. Why? Because it's narrated that this surah Fatiha came from the treasures which is underneath the throne of Allah. It's also called Suratul Wafiyah wal Kafiyah. By the way, when I'm saying Suratul, whatever name I'm saying, this is Mudaf and Mudaf ilayh. Okay? Mudaf and Suratul Fatihati. Okay? So it's called Surah Wafiyah, Kafiyah, sufficient, in other words. Wafiyah, Kafiyah both mean sufficient. Why? Because it's sufficient in the correctness of prayer, isn't it? Yes? As in, it fulfills your amount which is fard upon you. It fulfills the amount which is, what's fard in namaz? In the qiyam, what's fard in terms of recitation? How much do you have to recite for your the fard of recitation to be fulfilled? One verse, that's it. Mutlaqan, one verse in qiyam is sufficient to say that you read the Quran in qiyam, and Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen does that for you. Reading the whole of Surah Fatiha is wajib. To add a surah or 3 verses is a wajib according to the Hanafi fiqh, isn't it? Yes? But the fard is just to recite one verse. And Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen does that for you. Yes? So it's sufficient in that sense then, isn't it? It's called Suratul Shafiyah and Suratul Shifa also. And make sure you read it as Shifa. Yeah? You don't want to be reading as Shafa. A lot of people say, a lot of scholars say as well Shafa. Yeah? It comes in the Quran, Shafa Hufratim Minan Nar. Yes, Allah Shafa Hufratim Minan Nar. On the corner of hellfire. Yes? You don't want to be calling somebody by, the name might be Shifa and you're calling them Shafa. Yeah? Or I want Shafa. You don't want to be saying that. Yeah? I want a corner.
So, You know when they say Shafa'at al-Kubra?
That is with the ayn. That's an ayn.
Okay.
Shafa'a is with the ayn.
With that
That's intercession.
Yeah.
Yeah, shafa'a.
Okay.
Shafa'atun.
Yeah.
Shafa'atun Nabi. The intercession of the Prophet. And people read that wrong. Over there they say Shifa'atun Nabi. Yeah, that's wrong. It's Shafa'atun Nabi. Here, this is for a cure. Yes, Shifa. Shifa. Yes. So, yeah, get that right. Yeah. My daughter's name Shifa. Yeah. So, I get a bit agitated when people say Shifa. So, her name's Shifa. Shifa. Yeah, Shifa means corner. And the way the Quran used that word only was for the corner of the hellfire. Yeah, on the ditches of hellfire. You know, the pits of hellfire, on the corner of that. Yeah, they're on the verge of falling into them. Why? Because the Prophet, the reason it's called Suratul Shifa is why? Hiya Shifa min kulli da. Suratul Fatiha is a cure from all illnesses. This is what the Prophet ﷺ said. It is a cure for all illnesses. So keep that in mind as well. Yes, you should do some damsham. Yes, do ruqya with it. It's a good thing. Remember that Sahabi they were traveling somewhere and they wanted to like rest and eat, and the tribe wouldn't give them anything, and then somebody fell ill. Yes, you know what he recited? Surah Fatiha, and then at the end he did dam. He did ruqya, and then they gave them meat or something, didn't they? And they weren't sure if it's halal for them to eat, so they done an action, and then they weren't sure, should we have done that? And then they came to the Prophet, and the Prophet said, have you got some of that meat left? Yes. This is one of the dalils to say that you can take money for a bit of dam durud in it. Yes. So there's nothing wrong with being a chuf as well. Yes. Yes. It's just people can't do it themselves because they don't have that sincerity. When certain people don't have that sincerity and they can't do certain things, then yes, they will be against people. Where things are wrong, say they're wrong. But when your elders have been doing this for a long time, yes, and they've established proofs for them, just because one person has gone a bit ahead of you, then there's no reason to attack the person as well. If they do anything wrong in Aqidah, anything wrong in terms of their actions, whatever that is, then yes. But if it's a realm that you have no idea of, then don't get involved in it. Yes. So you'll see a lot of these people that do things, yes, chufs, but then realize as well that they may have changed their ways as well. Okay. So realize that they might have been involved in black magic at some point, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala might give the person to do tawbah as well. Yes. Hence why you might see that same person might be doing work slightly differently now. Yes. May have some of the same methods in terms of public activities, but in terms of his hidden activities, certain people might have sorted him out. Okay, so sometimes you can't just attack certain things just because you don't have knowledge of them. The biggest trouble of this day and age is there are ignorant learning people, if that makes sense. There's ignorant learning people. So what I mean by learned is people who you perceive that they are well learned and well studied. Yes. Yet in the reality they are hiding behind a cloak of, for example, one of the easiest cloaks to wear is the cloak of Aqidah. That I'm the defender of Aqidah. So that'll be the biggest cloak a person will wear to hide his ignorance. Yes. So it's always be this guy's wrong, this guy's wrong, this guy's wrong, this guy's wrong, this guy's wrong. Yes. Now you'll think, let's argue about it, but you soon to realize that they don't want to argue with you because they just want you to say that guy is wrong. But when you do get into a conversation with them, you realize that they are void of any type of knowledge. So these ignorant, so-called learned people cause the biggest destruction to the world because they don't know that they don't have the knowledge to see the truth. So they are blinded from the truth themselves. They don't see the truth. Therefore, they become an enemy of it. Yes? Isn't there a common saying within Arabic that The ignorant person is an enemy of what he does not know. The jahil is an enemy of what he does not know. So something that he doesn't know, he'll always be an enemy of it. Doesn't it happen? When you can't understand something, then you say, I can't understand this, I'm going to refute it. By refuting, I mean I'm just going to go against it. So that happens commonly, doesn't it? So you have to be careful in these regards.
How do you say that in Arabic?
Which one? I forgot how the saying is in Arabic. Can't remember if it was in Al-Jahilu. Al-Jahilu aduwwun lima jahilu. Yes, from things that he does not know. Okay, it's a similar saying like that in Arabic. Okay. So it is also called. So I'll explain that point, that this is where we can take, that you can take money for doing ruqya sometimes. Yes. Open a Dam Durud corner and just blow on people. Yes. But the reality of it is you have to be sincere in it. Be really sincere in it. The point here is not just to do it for the sake of doing it, and it's a good business. The point here is the sincerity that you do it with. Yes. And the main thing is how much you follow of your religion. That will work for you. Yes. So that's that. And it's a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everything, and that belief that everything comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not you doing it. Yes. You just become a cause that this person can gain trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. After that is up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala if he wants to cure this person or not. Yes. So if you start believing it's me that's doing it, then you're gone. Yes. Then you're a goner. Anyway, it's also called Asab'ul Masani. Yes. For it has 7 verses, doesn't it? 7 verses. Bil ittifaq, by the way. 7 verses of the Quran in Surah Fatiha, 7 verses of Surah Fatiha according to everyone. Yes?
Isn't there dispute?
No. There is no dispute in that Surah Fatiha has 7 verses. How many verses does it have? 7 verses. Bil ittifaq, meaning everybody agrees in this case. When we say ittifaq, it's not that there was ijma on it, as in a proper consensus. They all came together, had a board meeting, and no, it's what you call what do they call it when the unanimous decision? Like they're doing boxing, yeah, unanimous decision. It's just something that was unanimously agreed upon. They had their disagreements, but they were all unanimously agreed upon this point that Surah Fatiha has how many verses? Yeah. According to Imam Shafi, Bismillah is part of Surah Fatiha. So verse number 1 is Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Then Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. The third one Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Then Maliki Yawmiddin. Then Iyaka na'budu wa Iyaka nasta'in. Then after that Ihdina Sirat al-Mustaqim. Then Sirat al-Ladhina an'amta alayhim ghayril maghdubi alayhim walad-dallin. Yes? This is number 7, isn't it? Number 7. According to us Hanafis, the first verse of Surah Fatiha is Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Is that number 1 straight after it?
Yeah.
Yes. Now, if you count the verses, what number do you have at the end of Ghayril Maghdubi Alayhim Walad Dalin? Huh? How do you have 6? Huh?
Oh, there's a little 6 hidden.
Forget that little 6.
Yeah, 7.
Forget that the moment. And Walad Dalin, what is there? 7. Yes. But how many circles are there? 6 circles. The truth according to us, this last verse, number 7 verse that you see between 2 circles, yes, between 5 and 7, yeah, the guy who put the numbers in didn't forget his numbers, okay? It was, the scribe. The scribe here, I mean the guy who made the nuskha, the printers, right? He didn't go to sleep at some point, 5 or 7. It's a case of here that Sirat al-Lazina an'amta alayhim. According to us Hanafis, that's a full verse on its own. Yes? It is a full verse on its own. Okay? And then غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا الضَّالِينَ is verse number 7. So the last verse is split into 2 for us. Okay? Because we do not add Bismillah in this. So therefore, everybody unanimously agrees that there are 7 verses. As to what those 7 are, that's a disagreement. Yes. It's called Ummul Quran, this surah. Is also called Suratul Nur. It's called Suratul Ruqya. It's called Suratul Hamd, Suratul Shukr, Suratul Dua. Yes? And it's dua, okay? What is it? Dua. Yes? And never dua. Dua mungo. Yes? Dua. Yeah? The wa means medicine in Arabic. Dawa. Yeah, in Urdu as well. Dawa. Duai. Yes, duai, what we say is from the Arabic word dawa'un. Dawa'un. The opposite of it is da'un. Da means illness and dawa means medicine. And the word we're looking for is so sometimes they read that not manzoor dua karna, they say manzoor dua karna. Yes? So you have to be a bit careful. Talaffuz sometimes is a good thing. There are certain things which are acceptable in a language, certain things which are not. So even when Urdu speakers speak, they say dua. They say dua. Which is how they say it. They don't say dua. Yes? They say dua. They don't say dua. They say dua. Now when they say dua, that is bad. There are certain mistakes which become eloquent. Certain mistakes that become eloquent. So keep that in mind, because for example, the Arabic word is ta'ayyun. Ta'ayyun. Ta'ayyun, they use it for police officers in it, but the way it's used in Pakistan is ta'in. Ta'in. So the word is ta'ayyun, but they say what? Ta'in. Yes? So for example, when they say that the police officers have been situated in a certain place, yes, or called out to a certain place. So in Urdu they say ta'inat. But the Arabic word, the actual word is meant to be ta'ayyunat. Ta'ayyu, babi tafa'ul, isn't it? Yes? But this type of mistake is acceptable. This type of mistake is because it's eloquent in the language. It is eloquent in the... If you said ta'ayyunat on TV, majority of Pakistan wouldn't even know what you're talking about. Yes? Even though it's correct. So that's a principle in eloquence. Al-ghalatul amu fasihun. The common mistake is eloquent. Yes? So remember that. So sometimes you have this, Ahmad to Ahmad. Yes? Sometimes that is a bit eloquent sometimes. Okay?
What was the sentence again, sorry?
Which one? Al-ghalatul amu fasihun.
That's
Al-ghalatul amu is mawsoof sifa.
Okay.
Mawsoof sifa. And then fasihun is the khabar. Right, so it's dua. What is it? Dua, not dua. Okay, or dua. My daughter is called dua as well. Okay. Shifa and dua. Is also called Suratu Ta'lim al-Mas'ala. Teaching the matter. Yes? Why? Because that's what it does, doesn't it? Teaches you that one matter. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. One matter it gave to you. Learn it. It's called Suratul Munajat. Suratul Munajat. Munajat means to call out towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Suratul Tafweed. Surrender. Just leave yourself to God. We did Fatihatul Quran. A different name, isn't it? First it was Fatihatul Kitab, now Fatihatul Quran. Ummul Kitab. Here, known means mother, doesn't it? Root of the book. Suratul Su'al. Suratul Su'al. the surah of questioning or begging, if you like. Begging would be better. Why? Ihdina sirat al-mustaqim. You're begging, aren't you? It's also called Suratul Salah. Suratul Salah. Yes, and that hadith we'll do it some other time again, where how the Surah Fatiha is divided between your Lord and you. Some of the words your Lord says to you, and some words you say to your Lord. We'll talk about that hadith next time, inshallah, when we go through Surah Fatiha. Now, why was Surah Fatiha called Ummul Kitab? And remember, we said that it has everything inside it, that's why. The reason for this is, it can be split into four things. One is Ilmul Usul, the knowledge of principle, the Usul, the original, if you like, in this case. And that is the recognition of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, isn't it? And His attributes. The Surah Fatiha do that. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahmanir Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin. It does that, doesn't it? It makes you recognize Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then the part of usul is nubuwa. Nubuwa. Okay? Nubuwa. Not nabuwa. Nubuwa. Prophethood, to recognize that, isn't it? And recognition of this. Yeah. Now you're going to say, where in this surah do you recognize prophethood from? Guess. Let's see how good you are. And the viewers at home. Okay. I'm going to read it out. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahmanir Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in Ihdina sirata al-mustaqim Sirata alladhina an'amta alayhim Ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. An'amta. This word an'amta alayhim refers to the prophet first, or prophethood first. Yes? Minan nabiyyina wa siddiqina. A lot of muqarririn do that talk, don't they? It's like a default speech of everyone. When they don't have nothing to talk about, start this, what it means from Ihdina sirat al-mustaqim, sirat al-lazina an'amta alayhim. And then go to that one, Minan nabiyyina wa siddiqina wa shuhada, all the way to the end of that verse. It's like a default speech of every single scholar out there. So here, an'amta refers to what? First one, it refers to who are those who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed. The foremost are the Anbiya alayhimu salatu wasalam, aren't they? Yes? So it gives us an attribute of the Anbiya alayhimu salatu wasalam. So we recognize them. We recognize them. So therefore, look, it gave you this knowledge. Then you need to understand of the hereafter. Ma'ad and Hashar and things like this. Yes? And that has been indicated by what? Maliki Yawmiddin. Recognize your Lord, recognize your guide to your Lord, and understand that He's going to hold you to account. Three things. These are the base of your religion. The base of your religion. Yes? Hence why I said, believe in Allah on the last day, believe in Allah on the last day. You might think, why is the Prophet not in there? Because he's telling you them, isn't he? Yes? For example, in many parts of the Quran it says, those who believe in Allah on the last day. Why weren't the prophets added in there, or our prophet added in there? The reason is, because he's conveying that message to you. You already accepted him. So he's telling you to believe in Allah on the last day. Yes? They're the other two components. He became a medium for both of them. So this is the root of the religion. The second is ilmul furu', the branches of that tree of usul. Yeah, what comes forth from the main belief. And the greatest thing after having a belief in terms of believing in a deity is what? What's the first thing you do when you recognize your Lord? Worship, isn't it? ibadat. And ibadat is indicated to us by what? Iyaka na'budu. Iyaka na'budu. Now ibadat is of two types, maliya or badaniya. Either they by your wealth, zakat, or by body like salah. So, and then both of these can be split into two as well. Either or one, two if you like. They are either mu'amalat or they are mu'amalat. They are in need of these, not split into them. They are in need of these. Yes, in terms of living, marrying, and so ahkam are split into them, aren't they? Yes, so you look towards them. Yes, so here by iyaka na'budu, when we worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then this is the indication that we are also accepting His laws, then aren't we? Yes, we are accepting His laws. Yes, when we accept His laws, then our mu'amalat, munakahat, whatever else that is, we will be sound and secure in them as well, then wouldn't we? Meaning we'll know how to deal with those matters also. The third one is the last stage, which is tahsilul kamalat, perfection. Yes? What's that? That's ilmul akhlaq, manners, etiquettes. And the greatest of those manners is to reach your Creator, isn't it? And to travel towards Him and being steadfast upon that path while traveling towards Him and not to come off it. And thus being indicated by Iyaka nasta'in. Yes? Different meaning to it now, isn't there? Iyaka na'budu refers to what? That you only worship Him. Iyaka na'budu here means that you're only traveling towards Him by His help. Yes? And that you only want the etiquettes and manners to remain upon the path that He wants you to have. Hence why straight after it said, Ihdina sirat al-mustaqim. Yes? Guide us on that path which you're granting us, isn't it? Guide us on that path which we are seeking help on. So we're on the path, help us on that path now. So the third one was and the last one was 4, wasn't it, altogether? Then the Quran is split into a fourth category, which is what? Stories. The Quran has stories, doesn't it? So first, number 1 was what? It's split into basically Aqidah. It tells you belief, which is usul. Then it's split into ahkam, which is furu. Yes. Then is manners and etiquettes, which is split into the Quran as a whole. Yes. And we just told you that. The fourth one is stories. The fourth one is stories. But this is also found in Surah Fatiha as well. How is it found in Surah Fatiha? That's the stories are of previous nations, aren't they? Yes? And to let us know from amongst them who were successful and who were not. Yes? And this is indicated to us by an amta alayhim ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. The last verse of the Quran, isn't it? So it's indicated there. So in this sense, haven't we just learned that the whole of the Quran is in Surah Fatiha as an indication? It's a foreword of the Quran, isn't it? Surah Fatiha. It's the opening of the Quran. So therefore, the opening of a book should have everything within it as an indication. And the Quran is split into 4 categories in terms of what it talks about. Yes, it talks about belief, it talks about laws, it talks about etiquettes, and it also talks about stories. All 4 of them are found in Surah Fatiha, one way or another. Yes? So from here we also understand one thing as well. If you ever write a foreword for a book, yes, just don't praise the author. Always in that. Praise him if you want to, that he's a good person, to make dua for him. But tell a bit about the book as well. read the book and see what the book's about, and then in that foreword you're meant to write that this is what the book's about, and try to grasp everything in a nutshell, indication wise, into your foreword to give the reader indication of what's to come. Yes? Not just write it's a good book and you should benefit from your Hudafiz. Yes? And leave it there. That's not forward. That's like more like a taqreez or something. The certification of the book. Yes? A forward is the like introduction. An introduction is you write it so that the reader gets an indication what the book's about. Yes? Not that he just says, wow, what an author. Yes? You don't do that. There you go. This was a small tafsir of the name of Surah Fatiha. We didn't even start Surah Fatiha. Okay? We will carry on from there next week, inshallah.